A busy couple of days, huh?
Oh boy, yeah. Can't wait to settle down and relax a little bit. Take it easy.
Well, it's actually been a busy 4 days because we had company and then we went to my niece's shower because I have 3 nieces getting married, and then we've been going to medical appointments, right?
Yeah. When you get older, aging joyfully, there are medical appointments that you have to go to.
We started out with our yearly physical, which anybody needs to have a yearly physical, right?
You absolutely should. Make sure that everything's working and that your blood test results are good and your EKG is good.
Overall, well, we were in great shape overall, except Steve's EKG did show something. And we wondered, do most of you get an EKG every year? We typically do. And Steve's was slightly abnormal. So he's going to go to a cardiologist to get that checked out.
Absolutely. So an EKG is an electrocardiogram, and that hooks to a couple places on your body and measures your heartbeats. And you should see perfect peaks. Doctors should see perfect peaks and then perfect valleys without any interruption in the lines. And if there are interruptions, then it shows that there is some abnormality. And so that's concerning from a standpoint of it could be something. And so the doctor that we were seeing read it and said, oh, I would have this checked out only because it could be the start of a blockage. And so it's always good to have an EKG once a year.
And we don't actually see a doctor. It's a nurse practitioner. There are fewer and fewer doctors. Most people don't see doctors anymore. There's going to be a doctor shortage pretty soon with the boomers all getting older and fewer and fewer people going into the medical, well, they go into medical fields, but I believe there's less people go into doctor roles because it's quicker to go into the nurse practitioner or the physician's assistant position, and they have basically the same responsibilities at a lower pay. So,
well, there's a lot of expense involved with insurance, and then you don't always get reimbursed to whatever your prices are.
You're talking about doctors' offices.
So I'm talking about doctors' offices.
Most doctors' offices are owned by hospitals today. There's very few private offices.
Right. And so the doctor has to get reimbursed from the insurance company. And so most people have insurance. They don't go to a doctor without insurance. I don't know who could afford that.
Well, they go to urgent care if you don't have insurance.
Yeah, $85 at urgent care.
Well, it's not 85.
But if it's something that you have that's a condition that is going to take some specialized care, you have to eventually go to a doctor. And if you don't have health insurance, then that doctor is going to be very expensive.
Well, we don't want to get on a rant on health insurance in America. That's for sure. It's just a sad situation. Overall, I think she thought we were pretty healthy overall.
Yeah, the doctor told me I look good. Or not the doctor, the nurse practitioner said I look good.
Yes, she did. That kind of implied that I don't look good because she stressed how good Steve looked. And I thought he's the one with the heart problems. I had the whole heart workup last year, and pretty much they didn't find anything to be concerned about. I had a bunch of serious tests where I wore a monitor for 2 weeks, and they monitored my heart for 2 solid weeks, including overnight. I did the nuclear stress test. I've done a CAC where they check the calcium in your is it your arteries? What do they check the calcium in your arteries, which mine is not normal, but it's pretty low. So I've had numerous tests, and overall I'm healthy. But the big thing was today. Oh, and we had a flu shot. She did talk us into the flu shot, and I've been exhausted all day. Haven't you?
Yeah, it definitely has taken its toll.
My brother-in-law's brother did die from the flu, so we do try to get it. We usually get it sooner than we have, but we were so busy with other things that we didn't get it. I should have gotten in before Saturday when I went to the shower with 32 people because half of them are now medical professionals. I thought, how ironic. We had no medical people in our family, and now it seems like all the families are half medical. And I thought that's because 20% of our GDP is spent on healthcare costs. Most jobs are in the medical field, aren't they?
Yeah, they sure are.
I mean, because that's not a coincidence. Everybody's either a nurse practitioner, MRI scanner person, technology, whatever, MRI, radiology tech, or the younger generation. We have so many nurses and nurse practitioners because that is the career fields. That's the biggest moneymaker careers today. The older people are more of the businessmen or teachers or things like that. I just thought I've noticed that trend for a while, and I thought that was interesting. But anyway, today we had to get up early again and go to a half-day appointment with the cataract surgeon.
Yes, when you get older, aging joyfully, you may have cataracts, and that's a part of aging. And cataracts are usually resulting in where you'll have blurry vision or foggy vision, or light will affect your eyes. Night driving can be pretty challenging. Computer work can be pretty challenging. So I'm at that age, and I've been having some issues with all of those. And so it was time to see a cataract surgeon. I did go to an eye doctor, optometrist previously, and he did say that it looks like it's time to have your cataracts taken out. So he referred me to a couple different clinics, and the one I chose is in Atlanta. And we're gonna have this done. He spent half a day going through tests of my eyes.
Well, the testing part actually from the whole visit was the small percent of the whole visit. The bulk of the visit was talking to financing and scheduling. And it was like buying a car. We were given a sheet of paper with all the options. What options do you want on your eyes?
So we took the shiny chrome wheels, we took the shoulder straps, and the convertible. And,
well, one way it could have ended up we could pay as high as $20,000 for both eyes. The cheapest way might be what was the cheapest way was about $3,400, I believe. Huge difference. This particular doctor works with the hospital, which is where I went to the ER, and I've talked about my 4-hour ER visit was $8,000 up to our deductible. I thought that was interesting for a 4-hour visit that they would get the visit up to our deductible. What a coincidence. Which our deductible is just under 8, so I'm rounding up a little bit. So she said, the scheduling lady said that they will take it up to your deductible for the facility fees. And I was like, I knew they were doing that. Then there's also another, after you meet your deductible, you have a 25% out of pocket. So she said they will go up to your total out of pocket, which is $13,500. So it will be $13,500. And then the increased lenses, the upgraded lenses.
So the difference in the lenses is that you can get lenses where you don't have to wear glasses at all. You don't have to wear glasses to see far or close. And those are the most expensive ones. And so, I've worn glasses my whole life. I feel kind of naked without glasses. So I've kind of settled for where my vision, the cataract is taken out and replaced with a clear lens. And it'll give me vision in distance, and then sometimes close up, I may need readers.
So you will definitely need readers. Not maybe, it's a definite.
Okay, I will definitely need readers. So that's the one I opted for. It's not as expensive as the full vision, but I'm going to wear glasses anyway. So why am I going to spend so much money to have perfect vision when glasses, over-the-counter glasses, can take care of any defect in my vision?
The reading.
Any reading or Yeah.
So one thing we did learn today was he could correct his reading vision and have that perfect, and then wear glasses for distance, which would be a lower prescription. So he wants to wear glasses, so he could still wear glasses for distance and have perfect reading because he has not a bifocal, but was it monofocal?
Yeah,
Progressive, because he has progressive lenses right now.
Right.
So I've never heard that option. So he said if you read a lot, you might want that and have the glasses for distance. But then he said, but if you go to the lake, you might want to have that distance lens. And I was like, we're not lake people. And Steve works on the computer a lot, so we considered that option. But then when we went to scheduling, the woman there said she thought the reading glasses would be over the counter, which I am not positive they will be. They may be a prescription reading lens. So she said, that would be very affordable just to get reading glasses. But everybody we know a lot of older people, they always lose their reading glasses and they're always looking for them. I thought maybe he should correct the reading vision and wear glasses for distance. But in the end, each eye is about $3,400 to do that. So that's $6,800 in addition to the base, right? In addition to the base
Right.
of...
Yeah.
The base was, I don't remember. It was like $1,700 each eye, plus this additional $3,400. Plus, if that includes laser surgery, it's $2,900 if you don't do the laser surgery, and that means the laser machine is doing it versus the doctor's manually breaking up your lens.
So he's an eye surgeon, and he has a very steady hand. He actually replaces corneas and does eye surgery as his profession. So I pretty much trust him to go into my eyes and pull out the cataract. And it's actually interesting where it's a slit on the side of your cornea, and they stick a pen-like tube into your eye and suck out the cataract, and then replace your lens, put a clear lens back in. So I think that's pretty good, and so that's what I'm going to opt for.
Now, if you have an astigmatism, that's another upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have astigmatism, you're nearsighted, and also need your reading lens, that would be 2 upgrades. Additionally, okay, so we found out they had a second location that if you go to this much further second location, it won't be that that facility fee of up to maybe $10,000. And then the anesthesiologist, they said, was not included, and they couldn't give you a price. But this one woman said it could be $225, could be nothing. And I'm like, nothing could be more frustrating to try to plan for a surgery and not knowing until after you have it how much the bill is.
Well, that's with anything in medical. You don't know how much you're going to pay.
Typically, well, that is kind of true. But typically with surgery, I think they would give you an estimate. But I mean, how do you plan your life when you don't know if it's going to be $5,000 or $20,000?
So this distant location in Atlanta is what we're going to opt for because it is at their facility. And
so you don't have the hospital facility fee, which could
right.
be...
The other option was at a close by hospital that is known for charging you every dime of your deductible and what your insurance will pay. And so, why do that when we can, get an Uber and go to this other location and get it done at their location, and there has to be a follow-up. They're going to do one eye at a time and wait a week, do the first eye, wait a week, and do the second eye, and then there has to be a follow-up. Well, they can do a follow-up 2 hours later after doing the surgery. So, we're just going to stick around, and 2 hours later they can do the follow-up, and then we're just coming back the next week to have the other eye done.
And the reason we're getting an Uber is the traffic is so intense in Atlanta that I don't feel comfortable driving in that heavy traffic. So we decided it would be much more affordable to get an Uber for actually 4 Ubers there and back twice.
Well, and it's also that getting an Uber because it is a very nerve-wracking day and it's very stressed out from having eye surgery. And why should we go through the extra stress of driving? You know, when you can get an Uber and take that to the clinic and have them be concerned with the heavy traffic and that sort of thing. When, you know, Sue will be worried enough about whether I'm going to be able to see again. So why go through that extra stress of having to drive in that heavy traffic?
I do want to point out that if Steve went by himself, he would not be allowed to get an Uber or a Lyft. They do not allow a patient to get it, but because I'm going with him and they call me, I would be considered his designated driver. We're able to get an Uber or a Lyft, but they do not allow it. Like for colonoscopies, they never allow that. And actually, his brother, when he had his colonoscopy, he could never find a ride. So he actually had his colonoscopy without anesthesia, so that he could drive himself home. And I don't recommend that. And I don't know if you have polyps, if you'd have to have it again, or what you do, because I don't know they could remove polyps without anesthesia. I don't know. But it's a very big concern because a lot of people don't have rides, and they just skip these procedures. So, again, Steve couldn't get the Uber himself, but because I'm there, we could get it. But we'll be hanging out all day. We'll have to bring lunch because she said there's no place to walk from this office to get food. So we'll just have to be there all day, get the Uber and come home and do it again the next week. And then he'll have pretty much perfect vision, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Except for reading. He will have the readers, and hopefully that will be over the counter. Hopefully we won't have to go in and get a prescription. But at that point, if he does need a prescription, I think you could go on one of those websites. I think it's called Zenny, and get some cheap glasses. I mean, right now our glasses are so outrageous, and we have to get them every year. And there's the two of us, and it really adds up. The glasses, and then I get contacts on top of that. So we spend thousands on that every year. So this will save on Steve's part. And the funny thing is, this doctor was questioning me. I'm sitting in the corner, and he starts drilling me on. I had worn my glasses because I was going to read a book, and I thought when I read for hours, sometimes it bothers me because of my contacts. It bothers me to read a book for hours because I knew we were going to be there half a day. So I wore my glasses, and he asked me if I wore contacts, and I said yes. I wear one reading lens and one distance lens, and he's drilling me, and I was like, is he seeing me as dollar signs? I'm not here to get cataract. I don't need cataract surgery for quite a while. My eyes are fine. I thought that was a little bit odd, didn't you?
Sure. Yeah, it was pretty odd, but, you know, he's got to find the next patient.
Well, another thing is in the waiting room. I mean, it was the first thing in the morning appointment, and the waiting room was packed, just packed. And I looked around, and I thought we were about some of the youngest people in this room, and everybody, well, not everybody, but quite a few people had a walker or cane, and they were in their late 70s and 80s, and I thought, wow. I mean, there was one or two who might have been in their 60s, but overall it was a very, very old population getting cataract surgery, and that was interesting, you know. That was real interesting.
But, you know, you have to take care of your eyes.
So to prevent cataracts, if you're still young and don't have them, wear a hat and glasses. And I know hats aren't really, they don't seem to be encouraged so much, but I wear them in all of my videos for prevention of cataract.
Block the sun from your eyes. Don't stare at the sun. Wear sunglasses that are UV rated.
So that's exciting. You know, when we were in scheduling, we were in there so long, because we were going through all the options, all the different lenses. She didn't bring out payment plans or anything. I mean, I think actually it said payment was required the day of the surgery, right?
Right.
And I guess they don't have financing. But we have an HSA that we were saving for retirement, but we're wiping it out right now, well before retirement. So we probably won't have anything left in our HSA by the time we retire, which is really, really sad. We thought we would have so much, but with all these medical things, and they're just typical standards. It's not unique. I think almost everybody will get cataracts at some point, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, if you live long enough, you'll definitely get them. So now I've got to schedule my mammogram. I'm hoping I don't have to go back again like last year, because so many women are called back, and then that's another expense and more time. And so I do feel like we're going to the doctor quite a bit these days, don't you?
Sure do, yes.
Even though we are actually very, very healthy. I mean, I
Right.
can't imagine if you're sick, how
Yeah.
much you'd be going when we're so healthy, and we seem to be going quite a bit.
That's right. Yeah, it just seems like a part of life.
I mean, she was impressed when we went to our physicals that I had done on my preventative things, you know, the bone density and the mammogram, and I don't know what else was on there. I don't really remember. The one I skipped was my skin check, and she didn't mention that one. And this is the first year I've skipped it. I'm like, I hope I don't regret that, because I have had skin cancer. But with all these other ones, with the being called back for the mammogram and everything,
Mm-hmm.
I did skip it. So
But she did say I look good.
yeah, she's stressed that Steve looked good. I thought that was so interesting. She's like, she just looked him up and down. I was like, you look good. You look really good. And I was like, what does that mean? I mean, she wasn't hitting on him or anything. She's like 30, you know. But I thought, I don't know, maybe she's saying for his age he looks good. I'm like, you just said that he might have a heart problem. So looks should be
Yeah.
irrelevant, because it's what's in here
It's
that's
what's
important.
inside, yeah.
So he can look good, but his heart could be blocked. So we've got to get that checked out.
I'm sure it'll be nothing. We'll be fine.
Yeah, well, we hope so. And I'm sure they're going to run him through all the heart testing I had last year, which was quite a few visits there. So we hope everybody's taking care of themselves, doing your preventative things, and you're staying healthy, happy, and
Aging joyfully.
and that you're aging joyfully as much as you possibly can.
And don't forget, give us a thumbs up.
Oh yeah, well,
Thumbs up, hit notification, and like.
and please subscribe. It's free,
Yeah,
and it only
please
takes
subscribe.
a minute. Our subscribers have been going up, and we really appreciate that. We hope that we're trying to get to 1,000, although we probably won't be making money anytime soon. We just gives us some encouragement, right?
Sure, it does. It does. And it's a lot of fun.
Gives us some encouragement, thinking that we might be touching some people's lives and that we're making a difference.
And helping some people.
Yeah. Sammy's been working on her little modeling, because we're working on the cards. I'm going to show those in a future video. Maybe I'll put one or two on the back here at the end of the video, where you can see her cards. She used to be so good at posing, but now that I start giving her treats, she's gotten worse. She was so good before the treats, and now she's barely will pose because she just wants the treats the whole time. So sometimes it's better not to give them the treats.
Well, she's become very finicky, and being in the spotlight has gone to her head. So she wants everything now.
Yeah.
Right,
and
Sam?
she just loves being in the video. She would be downstairs barking if we didn't bring her up here. That's why we bring her in every video. She just loves the attention. She loves sitting on my lap and
She does.
getting the attention. And
She does. She does.
what are you doing? Until we see you again.
Take it easy.